Hi, my name is Murugesh Mindy, based out of Atlanta. I lead the data solutions business at Straive. A lot of you would know Straive from our content solutions perspective, but wanted to take this time to share some things from our data solutions perspective as well. If you'll go to the next slide, please. Today, the way we look at things, and based on every company that is investing in data, every company is a data company, irrespective of the industry. And that's how everybody needs to think about it as well. It's not just about what we are doing in our own products and services, but how are we using the data that we know about our organization, our products, services, our interactions and engagement with the client to be a better organization, to be a better providers is very critical. Most mature organizations, if you look at it, are creating digital twins of their own operations and products and services so that they are able to understand what is happening at each point of interaction and engagement, and as the products move through the value cycle, to see how can they be better and how can they become better in what they are doing. Banking is a great example that I always look at to see what are they doing and how can we learn from them. And today banks are not just using data about what their customers are doing to see how can they interact, but they are thinking about what can I do to understand why a customer is going to call me even before they call me. If somebody is calling me, oh, they are going to call me because their card was declined. I know that already, and so I can address that even before somebody explains why they are calling me, and getting frustrated about not getting solutions that they are looking for, right? So we got to be able to use all the data to see how do we bring value. Next slide, please. From a publishing lifecycle, if you look at it, and here is a view of the various data streams that we need to be thinking about. Most of the organizations focus on what is core to their business, and in this case, it's the content data stream. It is to understanding what are our assets, what are we delivering to our clients, and how is it being used. But we got to look at it holistically in a 360-degree view to look at what else can we understand about our main products, whether it's in terms of people who are consuming, whether it is organizations that are consuming, whether it is our financial models, or most importantly, the touch points with our customers in terms of experience and social engagements to really understand what is my product and services being used for. Is this really being used the right way? Or is it not connecting with the right engagement needs? And thereby, I'm having churn issues or other challenges where I'm losing membership, or I'm having customer satisfaction so that are not equivalent to what I'm looking for. So understanding your data streams and creating a holistic strategy that connects all of this is very important. Next slide, please. Now, if we do that, we look at some of the possibilities of how can we better understand our customers and authors and any engagement parties that are required, or how can I better classify and curate my content in a way that it is consumed by the right parties in the right manner, thereby increasing customer experience, or by looking at what additional content is required and how do I explore new content that will bring in new services and capabilities, or also by looking at what more do I have to do to keep my existing customers happy or potential customers engaged so that I'm able to deliver value to what I'm promising from my publishing or any other service that we are looking at. Next slide, please. Now, the challenges that we've typically seen are in these 4 buckets at a very high level. Number one, organizations as they've grown have created these data streams in silos, are only looking at them in their own individual perspective. Financial data as its own silo, or operational data as its own silo, but not connecting each of them to say, what is the impact of an operational lever not working, that is not giving me this financial lever that I'm looking for, or what is an operational lever that is impacting what my customer experience lever needs to be. There are also gaps. We are not focused, and not necessary that everybody needs to be mature in every data stream. So there are gaps, but understanding them and creating a plan of what is required is critical. Last but not least is quality and governance. It's about, do we have good quality data that we can trust and that we can make decisions on them is also very critical. Now, how do we solve for all of this? Is the next slide. If you can move there, please. Is something that we've created which will help you. Now, this is not a silver bullet to say that you need a platform like SSP, Straive Data Platform, for solving these things. But what we've done with Straive Data Platform is create a framework and a solution that is easily customizable and configurable. So the 5 steps or the 5 modules that are required for solving any of the data problems that we spoke about is to have an overarching solution that can extract your data from any of your sources, be able to enrich, transform, or curate the data, be able to validate and trust your quality of the data, and be able to consume in whatever shape or form that you need. Now, think about if you can build this in a pipeline that can be replicated for any source that you are looking at, whether it is internal or external to you, and be able to build this incrementally. Now, that's what we have enabled through STP. STP is primarily built on AWS, but you can think of this being built on any solution. You can build this yourself. It's not necessarily you have to look at only STP. But what is essential is this framework and a solution approach that you build once, be able to use it for any number of pipelines that you're looking at, be able to configure it for any source that you're looking at, and be able to create an overarching solution that can solve for all your data and incrementally. Don't look for big bang, let's me solve everything at one point of time, but incrementally build and fill your gaps and create value through the data, whether it is your operational data or your financial data or your client experience data, but fill in the gaps and incrementally derive value out of your data sources. You go to the next slide, please. An example of what we've done is for a leading information provider, and they wanted people data, and we employed the people data module from SDP, where we were able to look at executive information from company websites. So think of, I'm able to point this module on all company websites, and in this case, we pointed it to roughly 3 million companies, 18 million contacts, but being able to automatically extract not just a one-time download, but be able to monitor changes. When people move from company to company, we are able to look at, oh, somebody has moved, and so it needs to be updated. So creating a very seamless pipeline that will automatically update this data and create good quality data that can be used to look at who are my people, who are my contacts, who are my new contacts who come into the system, how can I leverage them for my operations, are the things that we've been able to solve for in this case. If you go to the next slide, please. Lastly, if I summarize, I think the critical thing I will leave with you is, please look at all your available data streams, not just what we know today, but looking at a holistic 360-degree view of your operations, your client experiences, your product needs, and your knowledge needs. Those are the 4 things that I'll say. Look at knowledge, your product, your customer experience, and your operations, and see what data streams are required. Do you have them, or how can you build an integrated platform solution that will deliver value incrementally over a period of time, but explore new data streams and get value out of them? Thank you.